Hello, everybody. This is Jackie. I am a life and business coach. What I do is I help future and current entrepreneurs build their life, their finances, and their business. And I'm so hyped. I'm so hyped. This recording is also going on my podcast, Victory Chat with Jackie. Your victory starts here. I'm so excited for our next guest. Y'all, listen. Around here, what I do, instead of me introducing my guests, they're already our friends, honey. So I let them introduce themselves. Go ahead and tell the people your name, your title, and what you do.
Hi, everyone. I am Charmica Curry. I am a children's book author, a speaker, and a chocolate chip lover. Yay! I've been teaching early childhood education for a long time, and I'm just spreading my wings to do something different now.
That's good. So have you ever worked with a coach, consultant, advisor, or virtual assistant before?
So yes, I have worked with a coach before. Yes, I have.
Experience. I seen that look. How was your experience?
My experience was it was not what I expected. For me, I expected a more hands-on approach, a more being consistent in communication, and sort of like what Tracy's doing with us now. In the 2 weeks that we've been with Tracy, the experience I had before was never like this. Nothing like it at all.
I've also worked with other coaches, and this experience is really, really amazing. And the other coaches I worked with, they were really good. I've had some acquaintances that was not in my favor, and I'm gonna say it like that. And it doesn't mean that they were bad coaches. They just could not offer me what I needed.
Okay.
Like, for example, I was in the 5th grade, and they were teaching me like I was in kindergarten.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And so, yes, but to be honest, my investment was really low. So I got what I paid for. So I wasn't mad because you don't go to a kindergarten teacher to be educated like a 5th grader.
Right.
Okay?
You're right. Right. You get what you pay for.
That's the best way. And they're good, but they weren't the best thing for me. Right. Then I had this coach. She was amazing. This other coach. She was amazing. But some of the things she was teaching me, they didn't stick. Like, some of the things were moving too fast for me. And I needed, I'm the type of person, when I do something, I don't need to know just how to do this. I need to know why I'm doing it.
Okay.
But it was necessary for my journey because I did not know these systems existed, even though she had took me too fast, because I was not mentally ready for what she was trying to teach me, number one. And number two, her style was different than my learning system. Okay, so let me tell y'all something about learning system. We all learn at different rates. Some things we can grasp quickly, like it's some information, like during that particular time, the things that I got from her, I will always value. But after we stopped, I said, okay, God, are you telling me it's time for me to level up and go higher? Like, I grabbed everything that she gave me, right? But then after the training was over, I wanted to know why. Why did I need to do this?
Right.
Why? And it was more to me than just, you got to do this because this is how you capture the audience. I'm like, why? And you know, everybody's not like that. Some people can just take instruction and do it. But me and my mind, you know, like I said, I wasn't ready for it, and I was questioning everything. And I just wasn't ready for it. like it was good, valuable information. I still have that information. I still hold this information. I still go back to that information, but I wasn't ready for everything that person. Now, this right here, the coaching we're in now, this right here, and you know, I like to be entertaining when I teach and when I do things. So I'm corny. So forgive me if this is thing. I'm professional with y'all. Y'all can just, you know, y'all, it won't be long. This interview will be over in a little bit. Just rock with me a little bit. Anyway, but this right here has been an eye-awakening. It's like taking some of the information that I had got from other people, and she's able to mix the why in it.
Right.
The why in it. So it was just what I needed. I was in the right place.
Mm-hmm.
At the right time. Okay, so, and I did the right thing, right? It was about positioning, purposeful, being purposeful. Awesome. So let's go on to the next question, y'all. I ain't trying to run. I could talk all day. It's just amazing, because just one more description before the thing that I've learned so far is that which is a life and experience in another area, is that I believe that you could do this, that, and that, and that. But at one time, I did not believe that they were for me, right?
Right.
And so she's able to pull that out of you, and I love that. Love that, like what you really want, despite what you say that you want. You know what I'm saying? So and these examples, just by being her, you know, so it's good. So my next question is, do you purchase things online, and how often?
I do purchase things online. How often? It depends on what it is. So I'm a person who love a good deal. And I always like to be stocked in my home when it comes to like toiletries and stuff like that. So if they're on a good deal, and I do have boys, so I stock up and stuff like that. It doesn't matter when. I could be up 12 o'clock in the morning and I will buy it. Shoes, love shoes. But I restrain myself. I have a lot of self-control, but there are moments that self-control goes to bed. But yeah, I do shop online. I'm not a shopaholic, but I do shop online.
Okay. The next question is, what made you choose your profession? And you can pick which one you want to talk about. It's fine.
Okay. Well, my profession has been early childhood education. I've been a teacher for probably half of my life. And I didn't choose my profession. My profession chose me, because from I was a little girl, I was always the one who babysat the kids. I was always the one who children were drawn to, even if I wasn't per se the one that they were associating with. It was like always a draw and always a pull. I've been a children's church teacher. I've been in the children's choir. I've been a teacher's aide. I've been a teacher. I've had my own school. So as you can see, I didn't choose my profession. It chose me.
Okay, so my next question, I'm looking through the questions. So you mentioned that you're starting a company. Are you going to provide a service or a product, or a little bit of both?
I'm going to provide a little bit of both. So my product is, I have a children's book series that I am currently revamping. I've already published, but I am now breaking it down into a mini series. And the service I want to offer is, I'm a speaker. So I want to be able to help particularly families with children, like from ages 3 to maybe 12, because that's my area of expertise. Go through certain things, like, you know, you have deaths in your family. Not everybody can know how to speak to a 3-year-old. Why did your grandmother die? In fact, that is what my stories are based on. using your imagination to help you speak to the children, but on their level.
Okay. So, when you first started, what was one of the biggest challenges you had? If you mind sharing, and share it if you can. You can be brief, but share it if you feel free to.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about my writing experience. When I first started writing, my biggest challenge was nobody's going to read this and you definitely can't write, which was not true because I've been writing stories from I probably was about 6 years old. I have journals and tons of stuff. And I think it was a challenge because I wasn't confident in myself and I didn't believe in myself.
So why do you think that you felt like that?
Because growing up, I didn't have that encouragement, you know, from the persons that I probably felt should have been the one pushing and encouraging me. So I was always the one encouraging others, but there was nobody to encourage me. So I didn't feel like, you know, it was something that was feasible for me to do. Somebody else, yes, and I was all in your corner. But when it came to myself, no.
So how did you overcome that challenge?
Holy Spirit, the Lord told me to write, and I got a clear word. You're going to write the stories, but you won't be able to write them on your own. There was a particular time I woke up every morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I wrote. If I tried to write those stories with any time other than that, it never came. It was like I had major writer's block. I wrote my series in 2 months.
Did you have any family or friends support you on that journey?
My biggest supporters were my children, my 2 boys. I have 2 boys. They're now 17 and 12. But I always told them bedtime stories from the womb. So it was something that we always did. But my 12-year-old in particular, he had to have a story every night. And if I didn't have a book, I would make it. So they were my biggest supporters.
So are you married or are you single?
Currently single.
Okay. So what are some educational or training things that you do to keep your skills up or to help develop you as an entrepreneur or writer?
What I've been doing of late is I have been participating as a writer in a lot of book fairs, book events. In fact, I had one every Saturday for the last 3 weeks, and I have one upcoming this Saturday and the following Saturday. When it comes to the educational side of it, I have a niece and other persons I tutor. So I'm always doing my best to stay current and using the children that are around me to learn from them so that I can know what I need to improve on and try to understand what their needs are now. Because each year the children change, so the needs seem to be changing as well.
That's good. So this is a funner question. This ain't real deep. I know I done had you digging, girl. Okay, so this is a lighter question. What are some of your favorite books, TV shows, or things to do?
Okay, my favoriteest of all TV shows in the whole wide universe, Grey's Anatomy. I'm a Grey's Anatomy fan, okay? I love outdoors and nature. I love photography. I absolutely love traveling. And I guess I could call myself a foodie, but I don't like the big restaurants. I like the small, quaint, quiet mom and pop shops, the one down the corner where nobody wants to go in with, that probably has the best food, because I do love to eat. And I love chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, you said that in the beginning.
Listen,
I remember that. That's going to be the most thing I remember, that. Chocolate chip lover. Yes, okay. Ma'am. So, do you have any favorite books?
I think my most favorite, probably the most recent one I've read over the summer, was Michelle Obama's book. I love her book, Becoming. And then I read this book called Girl, Wipe Your Tears. I think that's the name of it. And also a book written by Sarah Jakes Roberts. Can't remember the name of it right off the top of my head. But those in particular stand out because the topics and the stories, even in Michelle Obama's book, it reminded me a lot of me and some of my struggles and my fears. And I'm like, oh my gosh, if they can overcome these things, you know, I can do it too. You know, God has no respect of person.
So you as a customer, I just want to tap into what you said. You as a customer were basically drawn to these stories or these products because they reflected who you are.
Yes.
So is it safe to say that if that happens to you as the customer, that your customers will relate to you just like you relate to those authors and those stories, right?
Yes. That is the whole thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So this is a little deep question before we, you know, kind of close the doors.
Okay.
If you had to do it all over again, I'm talking about your journey either in writing your book or being a child educator. I'm gonna call it that. You know, early childhood I just like to say child educator. Because you know, we learned. We just educator, period. Okay. Educator, period.
I'm good with that.
Okay, as an educator, what would you do different? What would you tell your former self?
As an educator, that's a real deep one. I would tell my former self to really pay attention to my kids, pay attention to the students that have been placed in my care, because a lot of times we get so caught up in the paperwork that the paperwork overshadows the children, which is one reason I got out of teaching and started my own school, because I was tired of the paperwork. It was too much paperwork and less time on the children. And I saw the need. My heart went out for the need, but because you're working for somebody else, you can't fulfill the need. And that bothered me.
That's true. See, God guided you to entrepreneurship before you even know it. Because, you know, Candace, is it safe to say that if you never had that aha moment, you probably would have never branched out?
Yes, I did. You're right. And I was frustrated at my job. I was frustrated. And then when I had my first son, I was like, you know what? I can't do this, because what I see going on with these children, and I have boys. I do not want my boys to be a statistic. I want them to be what God has called them to be. Favored, you know, the one of the very few men that somebody can say, he came from a good home. He has a God-fearing parent. He knows what he's all about. He knows who he is, you know. That's my goal. I saw too many kids that just were lost. I'm getting emotional because I've been teaching for a long time, and it just hurts. It hurts.
It does. Like as far as the writer, what would be 3 tips you would give a new writer?
Oh my gosh. 3 tips? First off, support is definitely needed and necessary. My journey I did mostly alone, and it was quite frustrating. Depending on what you're going to do, if you're going to self-publish or get a publishing house, do your research, because a lot of these companies, and I did it twice before I found the right one, they just take advantage of you. They charge you a lot of money, and they're absolutely no help. And the last thing would be, don't be afraid. Just write. Just write. Don't review and self-check and whatnot. Just write it out all first. When you are done, then go back and check it over, because you'll never finish if you keep doing that.
That is good. So that's all the questions I have. No more deep questions. You survived without any tears, honey.
I was close to
Almost. Almost. No. Stop. Okay, before I let you go, tell the people where they can connect to you if they want it, and what type of services that you currently have available.
Okay. If you want to connect to me on Instagram or Facebook, you can connect with me with my name, Charmica Curry. I'll spell it for you because most people don't get it right. CharmicaCurry. So at Charmica Curry on Facebook or Instagram, as well as on Instagram, you can find me, The Adventures of Harry and George. That's the name of my book series.
Oh, that's cute. I like that title.
Thank
Okay,
you.
I want to thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview. I hope it was entertaining as it was for me. You're actually the fourth person I interviewed today.
Oh, yay!
Yay! Thank you so much.
You're
All right.
welcome.
This is Jackie. This is Victory Chat with Jackie. Your victory starts here. Thank you again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.